Greetings, everybody. It's January the 12th, your daily devotional, the thought for the day. And good morning and welcome to a brand new day, or maybe it's evening or afternoon, or maybe it's in July. But wherever you are most welcome here as we count down the final few episodes on the daily devotional. And just think, if you are watching this live, then this could be a collector's item in a few years. But there's 354 days left in the year. So let's get into it. 10 minutes together. And if you're new here, remember to click a like, subscribe to the channel, share this with a friend. All right, let's get into it with the scripture of the day. Psalm 9:2. I will be glad and rejoice in thee. I will sing praise to thy name, O thou most high. For those of you that are reading the Bible in a year, today you're looking into Genesis 29 to 30 and Matthew 9, 1 to 17. Here's your thoughts for the day. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Someone whom you reject today will reject you tomorrow. Remember that. Life is a succession of lessons which must be lived to be understood. Here's your motivation for the day. In life, as in football, you won't go far unless you know where the goalposts are. All right, let's keep plowing on, shall we? On this day in history in 1908, the first long-distance radio message is broadcast from the Eiffel Tower in Paris. 1995, a major earthquake kills 5,000 in Kobe, Japan. In 2004, the world's largest ocean liner, the RMS Queen Mary II, makes its maiden voyage. 2010, an earthquake kills 316,000 in Haiti. Here's your personal story of the day. It's about blameless. Did you know what it means to be blameless? Well, it's not something we think about much today. The Bible teaches us that leaders in the local church must be blameless. And you can take a look in 1 Timothy. To be blameless does not mean to be sinless. If that were the case, none of us would qualify. The word translated blameless in the original language is anakletos, and it's made up of two words, a negative suffix and ikakalo, which means to accuse or call one into question. Thus, the word literally means one who cannot be called into question, one who is irreproachable. It means church leaders must have no skeletons in their closet. They must always live blameless lives before the Lord. And that's what God said to his servant Abraham. I am the Almighty God. Walk before me and be thou perfect, blameless. Genesis 17. And often today, church leaders are selected because of their money, influence, or availability, with little regard to whether they have walked blamelessly before the Lord. Better to select a blameless leader than a popular one, or a yes man. Pray for your pastor and other leaders of your church. They have tough jobs and qualifications are stringent, and the blood is on their hands. So ask God to enable you to walk blamelessly before him if you are a leader, so that you can lead as he wills. Lord, I cannot be sinless, but I can be blameless. With your help in my life to open up the book before you. May there be no skeletons in my closet that would cause you to be embarrassed and me to be disqualified from service to you. And remember, if you want a good pastor, pray for the one you've got. Here's the devotional thoughts of the day. Share it. How many are doing that with this? All right, Genesis 25, verse 8 and 11. Then Abraham breathed his last and died in a good old age, an old man full of years, and was gathered to his people. And it came to pass after the death of Abraham that God blessed his son Isaac. And Isaac dwelt in Beer Lahai Roi. Now, age 175 years, he was gathered to his people. But that was not the end. Abraham passed on to his son a spiritual heritage that brought God's blessing upon Isaac down through the centuries to all of us through Jesus Christ, a distant descendant of this godly patriarch. Abraham didn't merely pass on, he made it possible for God to pass on his blessings through his descendants. We all need to live with future generations in mind. It's not enough to live a godly life to gain God's blessings for yourself. Consider what influence your life will have on your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren and the rest of your family tree. The character you choose to develop will leave its mark on the lives of generations you may never live to see. Don't be content to leave an inheritance of material possessions. Instead, strive to be a well for God's blessings to reach generations still unborn. The greatest inheritance of your posterity can receive from you is the heritage of God's blessing. Live so your descendants will rise up and call you blessed. The final thought is from Genesis 27:35. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety and hath taken away thy blessing. References from Genesis 27, 1-40. October 30th, 1938, Orson Welles and the Mercury Theater Company deceived the United States. They presented a realistic radio drama based on The War of the Worlds, a science fiction novel by H.G. Wells. It was too realistic. The actors' voices and sound effects convinced many listeners that they were hearing a real broadcast about an actual Martian, even though they told them ahead of time that it wasn't. People panicked, highways jammed, and some thought it was the end of the world. When Wells heard about this reaction during the broadcast, he went on the air to assure the people it was only fiction. Their drama is remembered as one of the greatest media hoaxes in American history. Again, they warned the people ahead of time. Now, Jacob knew about the tricks and deception. In today's verses, he lied and deceived. He took advantage of his father's old age. He played the parental favorites game to perfection. Now, his mother helped him trick Isaac, and the deception was quite thorough. The food was cooked just so. He wore goat skins to simulate Esau's body and the hair of his brothers and the clothes for the smell, and he told multiple lies in answers to his father's suspicious questions. And what about Isaac? Well, God had told Rebekah that Jacob was the chosen one, and surely she communicated that to Isaac. He ignored it. So women have to step in sometimes. And that often happens, that when men ignore the will of God, they're not reading, they're not built up, they're not spiritual leaders, that yes, from time to time, the women have to intervene. Now, had that gone through, Esau would have got the blessing. Now, all in all, it was a shameful episode for everyone involved, but Isaac's blessing was formal and sacred. He gave Jacob the authority and abundance, and despite the deceit, his words carried legal and spiritual force. When Esau discovered Jacob had stolen the blessing from him, his bitterness and his anger forced his brother to flee for his life. Despite the covenant, everyone in the story had lost their sense of purpose. How? Well, perhaps by trying to help God fulfill his promise. Is that what Rebekah thought she was doing? Perhaps by disregarding God altogether? Jacob's reference to your God, implying not mine, is a telling phrase. Read that in verse 20. No one in this chapter remembered God, appealed to him, asked for his guidance, or made any effort to obey him. Now, it's no wonder they lost their purpose. Think about that in everything that we do. Commit your works unto the Lord rather than coming to him with the plan already set out. All right, the facts of the day. The world's biggest bowling alley is in the Las Vegas Showboat Hotel, 106 lanes. And the largest pig on record was a Poland China hog named Big Bill, who weighed in at 2,552 pounds. Here's your closing thought. Who cares for me above all others? Take time to find out. Come back every day and we will continue on. Okay, so I got a joke. There's a priest, a doctor, and a lawyer. And they all gathered by a friend's graveside to mourn his passing. Now, ahead of time, the person, when they were getting their affairs in order, got them all together and said, all right, as a token of generosity, I'm going to give you each $100, and to show that there is no materialism in this world, you can't take it with you. I want you symbolically, as the coffin is lowered into the grave, to each toss $100 in to show that money holds no value. Well, the day came and they're all gathered around and everybody's saying their final prayers, their final offerings, and the priest drops his $100 in, the rabbi his $100 in, the doctor his $100 in, and then the lawyer puts an envelope in. Well, they're gathering around, and of course, eventually, there's some wearing on some people, and the priest said, look, things were a little down in the mission fund, so I didn't put the $100 in. I hope he'll forgive me. I used that for the Sunday school. The rabbi said, oh well, we've had some problems with overseas, so I use that money for some charitable works. I hope you'll forgive me. And the doctor said, oh no, I have to confess as well. The children's wing in the hospital was underfunded, and so I took the $100 as well and put it towards that. I think he'll appreciate it and understand that. The lawyer looked at them and he went, I'm disgusted with all of you. I wrote a check for the whole amount, put it in. That's all I got. Thanks for coming. God bless. Click a like, subscribe, share with a friend. We'll see you tomorrow.